Welcome back, movie lovers. I'm Josh.
I'm Chris.
And with our powers combined, we are Garner Brothers Movie Lovers. We are back today to review the movie Super Mario Brothers, the movie. But before we get started, we are now uploading onto all podcast streaming services. So if you prefer to listen instead of watch on YouTube, you can upload us on iTunes or on Spotify or on Rumble. And just if you have some other weird one that you like, we probably upload it on that too. So if you prefer listening podcast style, just the audio, you can check that out. There may be a few things that don't make sense because I'm not really changing what we're uploading. So you might all of a sudden have a movie clip audio like inserted into it that makes more sense if you're watching the video.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
But you should get the gist of it. Let's get started. Super Mario Brothers, the movie, is about the famous and much beloved Super Mario character from the Nintendo franchise that has been around since video games, basically, and has somehow not had a proper movie until just now. They tried once in the 90s, and it was brutal. Don't watch that one. Actually, it's pretty wild. You might have to just to believe it and then never watch it again. As you can imagine, there's not much of a plot here to give you. It's just all your favorite characters, from the Mario games. And they're doing Mario stuff.
Film stars Chris Pratt as Mario, as well as
Charlie Day as Luigi, which was my favorite cast, probably. Or Jack Black as Bowser.
Yep.
Those two were the best.
Anya Taylor-Joy is Princess Peach.
Keegan-Michael Key is Toad.
Yeah, almost unrecognizably. And
Yeah.
I don't think his voice was digitally altered. I think he was doing that voice.
Oh, Seth Rogen
is Donkey Kong. Film was directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Yelenick, maybe is how you say that. They are also the directors of the Teen Titans Go TV series and movie. And it's written by Matthew Fogel.
That movie is, surprisingly... I haven't seen it, but, I have not heard a bad thing about that movie.
No, I've heard good things about that movie. And Matthew Fogel is the writer. And he wrote Minions: Rise of Gru.
Which is a bad movie.
So there's some fun nostalgia here.
There's a lot of fun nostalgia here.
For those of us that grew up playing Mario games...
That's basically the whole movie is fun nostalgia.
Yeah, that's basically it. If you ever wondered what it would be like to make an entire movie out of Easter eggs, that's this movie. Almost everything is a callback to one of the games or the other, and they use a lot of the music from the games. Brian Tyler did the score and did a marvelous job, I thought.
I really noticed it several times.
Yeah, Brian. If you ever wanted to hear, those classic themes, but filtered through a full orchestra and given the most epic treatment possible, Brian Tyler just did that and
did it good.
I think my favorite part of the film was actually the end credits and just listening to all those themes done with the full orchestra. It was awesome.
I think the animation is pretty awesome.
Really
in
good.
This movie.
Yep.
There used to be, in the early days of this style of animation, there was this really freaky, uncanny valley going on with the real people. And they've been able to find this sweet spot. They're able to keep it like a cartoon, but also give it a lot of life and realism somehow. And there's a lot of that in this movie. It looks really, really good. It's a really good movie to go see as a family, which both of us have a family. And it's my kids all think this is the best movie ever made in the history of cinema. And I had fun while I was there. So this is a great movie to go see with your family because you're not going to be suffering through it like we all will when we go see Trolls 3 with our kids. Which was actually the worst part about this movie was watching the trailer for Trolls 3.
I didn't even know there was a Trolls 2.
Gosh.
Yeah, but my 4-year-old was thoroughly amazed by the previews. she was loving The Little Mermaid and Trolls, and there was another one too that she was like, after each one of them, she was like, "We have to go see that."
Yeah.
My kids loved it too. My 4 children, they had a great time, especially my 4-year-old. And just watching her reactions to this film was worth the price of admission. Yeah. She loved it.
And there was a couple moments that I kind of got caught up in it all. The Mario Kart sequence was pretty awesome in this movie, I would have to say. I loved how they were able to produce the feelings that I got. When you get the star, when you're playing Mario Kart or when you're playing original recipe Mario and you're just unstoppable and that music is playing, you're just like plowing through everything. That happens in this movie, and you get that feeling. That feeling comes back that you had as a child, and they're running around and it's absurd. And the same thing happens with the blue shell in this movie. The blue shell's never been more epic than it was in this movie. And it's such a dreaded feeling when you have the blue shell coming on you and you're in first place. And they were able to produce that emotion as well.
So, regarding, I will agree with you, the star scene in the movie was like surprisingly awesome.
It's ridiculous. There was so many times where I was like, this is so dumb, but at the same time I was like, it's dumb and I hate to admit, I love it.
Yeah. The blue shell, I did not like.
I thought it was so awesome.
I thought it was so dumb. One of these guys just says, blue shell, and then he becomes the blue shell, and he does to you what blue shells do to you in Mario Kart 8. But
the way he emerges from the flames and stuff is so perfect for a blue shell, though. It's like, where does that thing come from? Probably the depths of hell.
Well, that brings me to one of my major gripes about the film, and it's that, and it wasn't a problem for me because I've played the games, but anyone who is not steeped in the Mario Brothers games, there's like no attempt to explain a lot of things in this movie. And I guess it's probably safe to just assume that people who are going to see this know the games. But if you don't know the games and you go and see this, there's a good half of this movie that will not make sense to you. Like, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Well, if you'd played the games, you would understand. But there's absolutely no attempt to ease, newcomers into this world. They just throw you right into it, and which is a little funny because Mario himself is a newcomer to this world in this movie, but they really don't do a lot of hand-holding.
I'm kind of tired of... Why couldn't we just be in Mushroom Kingdom? Why do we have to start in Boston and then find a magical tunnel that takes you... That is what the old Mario movie did. I don't love that. That's what they did with Sonic. Why can't we just be in Mushroom Kingdom? Why can't we just build a world around that? Why does it have to start in Boston? I don't know. Doesn't matter. This is stupid that I'm whining about this thing. But
I did like the commercial they made.
The commercial was the best part of the movie.
How they used the music from the old TV series.
Yeah. We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sink is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others. You'll be hooked on the brothers.
The super old school rap and their crazy Italian accents.
And they had the original Mario voice in that little restaurant when they watched that.
Yes, they did.
And I heard it and thought,
that's what Mario actually sounds like.
I wonder why they didn't just
use that
guy.
After a whole movie.
It might have been super obnoxious if they had done that the whole movie. But also, plenty of people like whatever the heck that weird thing he's doing in Despicable Me.
Hello, everybody! It's so good to be here.
What is that accent? I'm trying to figure out where you're from.
I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Which is vastly more annoying than Mario's voice.
Oh, I don't know. Generic Eastern European accent is nowhere near as shrill as, let's go!
I guess.
An entire movie of that would be...
Maybe it would be.
A little much.
It's probably true, but we'll never know because it's just Chris Pratt. It's just Chris Pratt.
It's fine. I think he made his voice higher, and he's doing a little bit of a New York accent.
I do have one other thing I liked about this movie. I think my favorite part about the movie was the banter between Mario and Donkey Kong. It was kind of fun. once they were like forced to be on the same team and they hated each other but had to work together. That was kind of fun, but that was like one scene mostly.
That was the only scene I laughed at.
There you go.
One thing that Donkey Kong says to Mario made me laugh out loud for a while. That was the only laugh.
Was it the cool raccoon suit?
Your
Really?
dad was right.
No. Oh yeah, that was the best part. Oh my gosh. My dad thinks I'm a loser too. Well, your dad is right. Yeah, that was really funny.
That was the best line in the film.
I would like to see a movie from this franchise that will probably happen because this has like a 98% from the audience score.
Yeah.
People
It's going to crush at the box
are
office.
loving this.
Yeah.
They'll make more.
It's going to make so much money. They will make more. And
I would like to see a movie where Donkey Kong and Mario have to spend the whole movie together and
bicker the whole time.
And they make a real movie. They've done everything they need to do now. That's just like Easter eggs for movies. Now just make real movies with these characters.
Indeed.
I kind of liked that Bowser was a hopeless romantic.
That was kind of funny. Although I thought his singing was actually pretty annoying.
It was super bad. Come on, Jack Black. You're so much better than that.
And got an icy and got an icy
But my kids won't stop singing Peaches.
Terrible. If there was ever a case to make for why video games don't make good movies, it's this one. Like, we've said a lot of good, positive things about this movie, and I'm glad kids like it. But as a film, it is not good. It's chaotic, and it's hectic, and the Mario Kart scene, for as fun as that is for people who like Mario Kart, makes no sense. Like, they're like, okay, let's go head off the bad guys. Everyone jump into your carts. And they even have this moment where they build their carts like you select your cart at the beginning of Mario Kart 8. And I'm just like, this is no.
To AC/DC.
Yeah.
Like, it's the coolest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah.
And then they just, like, there's just a rainbow road that goes straight to where... I don't know. It's supposed to be some secret passageway to get to the bad guys, but the bad guys are constantly moving because they're on a big, huge moving platform.
Right.
And how could you not see a road
They
that's
find out
a
about it
rainbow?
and somehow get to the road. Like, if you try to analyze this movie from like a traditional plot perspective, it doesn't work. It's not a good movie.
Well, when you think about Mario, they never have cutscenes in Mario. There's no storyline to Mario.
No.
There never has been. It's always Bowser kidnaps Peach, Mario saves Peach. Or Luigi gets trapped, Mario saves Luigi. And that's what this movie is.
So just imagine a Mario game that you didn't get to play. You just had to watch it.
Imagine there were cutscenes for Mario and splice them all together into a movie. All right, I think it's time for us to rate this movie. It's time for good, fine, bad.
Good! Fine. Good. Bad.
Fine.
That's bad. That's bad.
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
If it was just me going to see this film in theaters, not with my kids, I would say it's bad. But because I was there with my kids and because they enjoyed it so much, I'll give it a fine.
Yeah, I was going to say fine as well. I had a good enough time watching this, and this is the first time I've taken all of my kids together to go see a movie. And I was shocked that not one of them was begging to leave from 10 minutes into the movie, which has happened every other time I've tried to take any of my kids to the movie. They all sat through it and they all really loved it. And it was fun. I've never done that with my family before. And this is the first one that we've done. It does make a big difference if you have kids. Yep. So maybe what we want to say is, I recommend you see this movie if you have kids.
With your kids. Yeah.
And
otherwise...
if you don't have kids, just go play any Mario game.
If you want a really good family film that kids and parents will like, that's based on an IP with no story, go watch the Lego Movie.
Dude.
That movie is a masterpiece. It really is fantastic. That is like the gold standard. This movie is nowhere near that league. If they had brought in Phil Lord and Chris Miller to write this Mario movie, it could have been an instant classic. But with, with Illumination behind it, I'm just not a big fan of Illumination films. Because there's something about this movie that really little kids really dig. Even my 4-year-old, who's never played a Mario game, really liked this.
Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for leaving a like. And if you liked our video and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe for us. And click the bell so you can be annoyed by your phone every time we post a video. And if you prefer to listen on audio, then go to any podcast streaming service and listen to us there. The best thing you can do for us here is like our videos. And the best thing you can do in the podcast apps is to rate us, which you just do an app. There's usually a link when you're listening to one of the podcasts that says, rate this podcast. And then you just click on it, and then you say 5 stars because you have to. And then you say that we're the best. There's a million movie podcasts, but we're the best.
This is an objective fact.
And tell everyone about us. When you get together with your family, and just corner your little cousins and uncles and force them to watch the video. Pull it up on your phone and make them watch us for 15 minutes.
And then they'll wonder, why did you make me watch that?
If you have to tie them up and gag them, that's fine. And, let us know about it in the comments section when you torture someone into watching one of our videos. And that's all. We're finally done. So, thanks, everybody.